I've had mine for several years.
Me too. Hi. Are we on?
We're on.
Hi. We're on. We're just jibber jabbering about different things. It's like we fly by the seat of our pants.
Mm-hmm. A lot of days.
A lot of days, and we just have fun. We don't know who watches us.
You haven't shaved your head yet.
Not yet, but it's getting close. I was just thinking about that. I was thinking about that yesterday. I'm thinking, almost time to get the hair.
She'll buzz it. She'll buzz it soon.
Time to buzz it, So it's about an inch long. Because they don't make an inch and a half for on the blades, I wish they did, but they don't. They don't.
So what's in your crawl today?
Oh, nothing. This was in my crawl last week about how much these different colleges were getting.
Federally funded, you mean?
Federally funded. Lots of, and they don't want to comply with the government, and they want to do other, because I had the letter that was sent to Harvard but an investment is not an entitlement. You're not entitled to billions of dollars of government money. Let's put it this way. It's not government money. It's our tax dollars. It's our money.
Mm-hmm.
Going to these schools, and it's not a little bit of money. It's a lot. And I ran this off last week, and it doesn't even have Harvard on here, but it had Johns Hopkins University. And Johns Hopkins has medical school and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
They were getting $4 billion.
So they've been cut off?
Total federal revenue.
Have they been cut off by Doge?
I don't know if they've been cut off, but they are ones probably that have been. MIT, 1.7, and they have it. And then the public; those are private colleges, and some of the tuition's up to $90,000 a year.
So what does our money go for at these colleges?
Shrimps running on a treadmill.
Could be. Very well could be.
I'm just saying, it might be, might be. So there's just 5 of these. It's Johns Hopkins, Massachusetts, Columbia, Stanford, and Duke. And Duke's getting the least, $979.2 million. I can't fathom millions. I can. Don't get me wrong, I can figure it out. But just to think you're giving this every year to these schools? And then the public schools, they're getting some of, University of Washington, Seattle gets $1.4 billion. And that's the share of the university's revenue. So they show how much is the percentage, the share of that university's revenue these amounts are. Look at MIT. The total federal revenue, they're getting $1.7 billion, and the share of the university's revenue is 52.3%. Wow. That's the highest one on here. I'm just saying. So that was in my crawl, especially since some of these schools, I think Harvard was one of them, said, well, we're not going to comply. I don't know what they're figuring on doing.
Yeah, they're not going to comply with the DEI, right?
Yes. They're not going to.
But then their funds definitely should be cut off.
That's right, and that's what this whole letter was about on April 11th, was the United States has invested in Harvard University's operations because of the value of the country of scholarly discovery and academic excellence, but as an investment is not an entitlement. It depends on Harvard upholding federal civil rights laws and only makes sense if Harvard fosters the kind of environment that produces intellectual creativity and scholarly rigor, both of which are antithetical to ideological capture. And then the next
Harvard why all that?
Failed to live up to that.
Why can't you just state it plainly?
Yes. Yes. You are.
You can't even read it.
You're not following. Yeah, I know.
It's a lot of
You're not following the Constitution and all the different amendments and the titles for women and everything else. and you're not taking children in by merit, you're taking it according to DEI. And that's what they're saying, because there's no longer an existing DEI. Did you see where, and going along this right thing, what was her last name? Her last name is Gaines?
Riley Gaines?
Riley Gaines.
Mm-hmm.
She was awarded $50 million by the NCAA. Yes.
Very good.
Yes, because she lost her title to a guy who identified as a woman and swam and won and beat her and got the awards. Hello. Finally.
Very good.
Women fought a long time for that Title IX to come into play.
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden in the past few years, gone.
And women aren't fighting to help them keep it. That's what I
Some
don't
of them are
understand.
not, yeah, I don't understand that.
I mean, I don't understand where the women are going, no, this isn't right. We believe in,
And some of these women have been women on teams that benefited from having just team for women. They benefited. And now all of a sudden, no, we got to have everybody play together. Not right. But that was in my craw. So that was one thing. And of course, watching what's happening to all the illegals and people flying down to interview an illegal that they think shouldn't have been deported out of the country, when you should really worry about your own constituents. That's the Maryland senator that flew down there.
There's a couple of them that went down there.
Yeah, I mean, really?
Several different people have been down there to see and stuff. But I mean, if you're illegal, you're illegal. But then if you're MS-13, that's just on top of it. But I mean, the illegal part is, which I know they were originally at the beginning trying to get out all the criminals. But you're still illegal.
You came across the border illegally. Right there, it makes you illegal.
And even
Break the
the
law.
guy, even the El Salvador president or whatever, when
yeah,
when he was interviewed by the stupid news reporters, and they were like, "Well, will you send him back?" And he was like, "He's not a U.S. citizen. How am I supposed to get him back?" He said, "Do I sneak him across the border? What do I do?" I mean, I'm like, you people are idiots. You're just idiots.
He made them sound so stupid. He's like, he is not an American citizen. He's my citizen who left. And he's supposed to be in a prison down there now. So obviously he was a bad guy there. And so look at it this way. Let's say deporting him is like extraditing him down to where he needs to be. If one of our criminals who's a citizen goes to another country, don't we want to get him back? It's called extraditing him, so we can get him back to try him here. Well, this guy came from their country, as I assume he is a criminal there, so we're doing them a favor. We're giving him back.
I just, that was
Otherwise, we're
that whole funny
harboring.
thing was me. And from what I understand, the senators and all, and the people that have been down there, they're not getting anywhere with the El Salvadorian government either.
Well, why should they? You have no power down there. It's like extraditing an illegal to come back here when he has been probably a criminal in his own country. They want him there.
I
plain
don't know what their
dumb.
thinking is, but yet they'll kill a baby.
Oh, yes.
They're okay with killing a baby, but they want to save a criminal's life. That's killing our people.
And then somebody
I don't get that.
Somebody said, "Oh, he's not in prison. He's in a concentration camp." And then somebody else said, "What's the difference?" Really? Really.
I don't understand these people. I don't understand them.
don't.
They have totally flipped against anything that's American or to protect Americans.
Do they look at the how many presidents wanted to? Clinton, when she was running, we're got to stop the illegals coming across the border. Obama, we got to stop. All of these things that they said they were going to do and they didn't do, Our president's doing them right now. And yet people don't like it.
And for the Supreme Court, I feel like they should uphold, if they're illegally crossing, then they need to go back.
That's right.
So it doesn't matter whether they've been criminals here or not. It's a criminal act to come across illegally.
That's exactly it. Yes.
I mean, which
broke-
leads into this new Real ID.
That
Because
is-
you're
oh,
not
yes.
going to be able to even fly as an American or travel or go into certain buildings if you don't have certain identification.
Duh. Now,
So-
when did that come into effect?
Well, they started announcing it several years ago because I got mine several years
Oh,
ago.
mine's very.
But it's
no,
coming into effect.
I
But
think, John, we got ours 5 years ago.
probably me too, because I know it was like
Yes.
during COVID or right after COVID because we had to make
Oh.
appointments to do it because they were only seeing 1 or 2 people at a time.
Well, it was, why I say that, it was summertime, it may be six years ago, summertime, because we were at the DMV with all our documents when my daughter-in-law called and said she was having twins.
Okay.
So I know that, and they're 5 years old. So it'll be 6 this summer. So it was 6 years ago, you had to have your birth certificate and, that stuff, residency that you're here, and then you get your star. And I've had mine for 6 years. It's not a big deal.
No, but I do have pet peeves with it. One, if you're trading in a valid Virginia license, then obviously you're a resident. So proving your residency.
Well,
I mean,
you've already here. You should just.
and you had to take certain things to get your Virginia license. So
Yes.
I mean, my thing is, if you're just upgrading it to a star, why do you still have to prove everything?
Well, see, when
I didn't become illegal.
No, but when 9/11 happened, these guys got their licenses in Virginia. So they were able to get their driver's license.
But things have changed since then, since
They
9/11.
have
And the rules in
changed.
Virginia have changed. But
Because, when we moved down here, we had to prove all these things. I do not think we had to show our birth certificate, though. I know we did not have to do that. We just had to prove that we were a resident. And we had to take an electric bill, because that's a residency, as your residency. But we didn't have to take our birth certificates. Now you have to take your you had to, for the star, take your birth certificate. And I remember sitting next to a woman who couldn't locate her birth certificate. She was having.
you can get them through the DMV now.
Well,
Vital
maybe,
records.
yeah, because she just couldn't get it, and she knew where they should have been, but they couldn't find them. So she was sitting there, and we were talking. So we got ours, like I said, 6 years ago, and I'm really happy I got my star one. Now, do I fly out of the country? Do I even fly?
But it
No.
could affect federal buildings too, it said.
That's
Like
right.
going into courts and stuff.
That's right.
So, I mean, and if you're going to fly, who knows when you might need to.
No. So,
But-
and that was so you could fly. And I remember at the time, if you didn't have the star and you wanted to fly, you had to have a passport,
But
even for local, within in the country.
but what if somebody doesn't drive?
You can get an ID.
Just with a star?
You probably can. You can, because if you are here like on a green card, you probably, you got to get. And I know this through soccer, where that one man, I couldn't find him, and he had what was called the individual tax number, and I didn't realize it. I was ignorant.
But he still probably had a driver's license.
No.
Okay.
He didn't. His
But he
driver-
could get one.
He should
In a
have
lot of-
gotten.
in a lot of
he
states
should
you
have
can
gotten
get
one.
one.
He should have gotten one. The only one I saw was the expired one from Mexico. It had his
Okay,
picture.
moving on. Moving along.
So that's
moving
what
along.
I knew. But you can get them, and then I watch on Facebook where all these people are going crazy. Oh, my name is different than my birth certificate, and now my name, I'm married. I'm like, jeez, are you going to be that stupid? They know that.
But it does say that you've got to prove, like, if you're, because you could have been remarried 4 times in the.
Well,
you've got to
those
just
in.
bring proof that
Bring
this
proof
is who you are
That's
now.
exactly it.
I mean, your social security card should be updated to whatever your current name is. I mean.
You know what? Let's do a fingerprint. Just put it on everything. I do believe now that when children are born, they take their footprints sometimes and put them on documents. That's not, why shouldn't we do that? I mean, get those fingerprints on your birth certificate. Because that's not going to change unless you burn them off.
But is your print the same at birth as it is now?
It should be the same.
Just larger?
How about this?
Just larger?
How about this? Take a swab of your DNA and just rub it on something. There it is. It's under this tab.
But I'm a man. It can't say that I'm a woman on here.
I got my DNA on this certificate.
If it can't say that says I'm a woman and I'm really a man.
Okay, so here's the thing. Now, I know. Now, here's what should be not existent anymore. When you get to something and they say gender, wipe it out. It should not have to have anything to do with anything.
I know, but then how do you describe somebody to the
Female.
police?
Well,
That's a gender.
No, I mean,
Female's a
I mean, when you're filling something out, like, let's say you're buying a pistol, okay? And they go through and are you Caucasian?
But doesn't it help when names are like Robin?
Well, yes.
Or, Jamie.
But what does it matter if you're just, unless they want to play in a female sport and they're going on their name, yeah.
But I mean,
or a guy named Sue.
But I mean, if.
Yeah. But I mean, some things are silly to have. You identify as a male, female, or other. What do you identify as? A boy named Sue. How do you do?
Again, if you swiped your DNA, it's going to show who you are.
That's right. Here's my DNA. So
But then they'd have to have DNA in all the databases. And then people don't want that.
They don't want that. So go with a fingerprint. Put a nose print on it. Something. Some things don't change. Footprint. Baby footprint. My footprint probably won't change. I mean, footprints are like fingerprints. Unless you have surgery.
Because you look at they're so smooth.
Well,
Their fingers are so smooth and everything.
Look at your phone. I mean, what do you have on? You can use your thumbprint on your phone, your fingerprint to open it. Other methods of ID for different things. You can use those. So why not have on the back of your driver's license a fingerprint?
But then, where does that go to? And how's that going to help somebody?
Just that it's you. Say, I don't believe it's you. Well, here's my fingerprint. Check it out. See, my fingerprints have been on file.
We knew there was something shady about her. No, mine have been on file too, because anytime you do anything with the school or youth or whatever.
With schools, with permits, pistol permits with schools, even on their field trips. So these things are all on file. So it's like, if they want to find us, they'll find us. We are.
I don't remember having to get one with my pistol. I don't remember that with the pistol, but maybe
New York State.
Well, I guess New York is
And because we got the Utah one. Because the Utah one we can take. The Utah one's really cool.
But now, isn't it more reciprocal now anyway?
Almost, yes.
I mean, I was looking at a map the other day, because before you couldn't go through Maryland.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't know how you get through Maryland. I don't know how you get to other places on the eastern coast.
Maryland's still bad. Because I belong to Virginia Citizens Defense League. Oh no, the NRA actually had it today. And I was looking at the map, and it had the West Coast, California is orange. They are very limited in any kind of concealed carry. okay? And then on the East Coast, they had New York, Connecticut, New Jersey, Delaware, Maryland, and then there was Hawaii and California. And that, I believe, was the whole list. And they were in the orange, and that meant they're limited permits. They're
But that's
very
for
limited.
conceal.
That's
Does
for
that mean you can wear it
conceal.
out in the open?
No. Mm-mm. They, to get where we were in upstate New York, in our county, you had to go through the FBI, fingerprints, FBI, and you could only get 3 pistols on your permit. We knew a young man who moved to Saratoga County because you're unlimited, and he moved there. And it took months to get the permit.
But you can't go to another county toting it.
You could once you had a permit, yes. I had 3 on my permit, and most of mine were like collectors, and I wanted a 4th one. And in order to do that, I had to appear in front of a judge to get permission.
But that's just to live in the county and own them.
Yeah, that was in Schenectady County, right, and I did that. And he gave me permission because
But now is that to carry them, to own them, to
to
what?
carry, conceal, carry, and everything. I still have that permit. I'm really skinny.
So you can't wear it out in the open up there.
You could, but it'd be kind of rare to see somebody doing that. Pretty rare seeing anybody wearing them out in the open.
Because down here you see people.
I mean, you do that. I mean, yes. Down
Okay,
here-
so my question is, so you're traveling and you're moving down here from New York,
Oh,
and you can't cross through all these, I mean, you know what I'm saying? It makes it difficult. It's very difficult.
very difficult because we moved from upstate New York and we had to go through part of Maryland.
Oh yeah, you have to.
You have to. I mean, to get to here, unless you would really want to circuit around, we sort of wanted to get down here in a time.
So I mean, you have to figure out ways to make it work. Let's go with that.
Let's put it that way. Let's put it this way. You obey every single traffic sign. You go the speed limit. You do not speed. You do not want to be stopped. So you do not stop. We had shotguns and rifles, and of course, our pistols.
Because the next state over could be you're okay, but you got to get through these states that aren't okay.
And when you're moving, you got to drive. So we did. We had 2 vehicles that came down, and I had a cat on the back. And we had all of that stuff in the back of my car, and the cat was there with her litter box, and we were fine. But we obeyed every single law. We didn't speed.
Because technically, even when you get to Virginia, then do you have to identify them or register them?
I don't know, but we were already federally
Yeah, so you're
registered
federally
anyway
registered, so
with
you're good.
those,
Yeah,
yes.
once you're federally registered, you should be
Those
good.
are all federally, but in the states that don't allow that, and as I said.
Yeah, that's right. In the federal
Connecticut-
system, that's why they do the backgrounds and all, so you're registered in the system.
Yeah, Massachusetts, New York, and it's funny because they isolate New York City, and then they had Long Island, and they had New Jersey, and they had Delaware, and they had Maryland, and then Hawaii and California. They were all of very limited. Doesn't mean you can't get one, but you've got to give them very, 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 very good reasons.
But the map is growing now. It's getting more reciprocal, right?
Well, yes, and then there's some that were a gray, and then there were some that were a dark color, which means you could do you can open carry, you can do whatever. So they have no problems.
What is Virginia color?
We are sort of a gray. We have to go through, you have to go through the FBI just to say, yeah, you can buy it.
Mm-hmm.
And that it can take a few minutes once you're done, to buy
Well,
a
that's to
pistol.
purchase
Yes.
it, but I mean to
To
carry it
carry,
out or to conceal carry.
If you have a concealed carry permit, you just go to your county clerk, you get the forms, you fill them out, you follow what they have on there,
Mm-hmm.
and you turn them in, and they have to, it goes to the sheriff's department. And they have 2 weeks to give that back to you. Either, deny or whatever. And after 2 weeks, then it's automatic.
But if you don't want to conceal, can you just outright carry
You
in
should be
Virginia?
out, yeah.
I mean, you can just wear it on your
Wear it on
side.
your side, yep.
Concealing is only if you don't want
People to know
people
that
to know you're carrying.
Carrying, yes.
I
Yep.
mean, and yeah, that's the only purpose for
Yep.
concealing it. I
Yeah,
mean, if you don't
just don't
want.
want, and
But I mean, down here in the South and stuff and all, people do. I mean, I see people with their guns on
yeah,
their
they're on their
side.
side. I mean,
It doesn't scare me or anything.
no, it's only as bad as the person carrying, and most of the people we know, they're fine. They're really fine. I kind of stupid because I was thinking, we go on our hunts and a boar hunt and the bison hunt, and I'm thinking, really might want to carry a sidearm there too, because depends on how fast I can bring a rifle up to do a second shot, but the pistol might be easier, so I'm considering, I'm going to carry another one. And I saw somebody at the hunt last year, and I thought, that's pretty smart. Maybe nice to carry a .357 revolver with you, because it's not going to jam, and just in case you need it, it's good to have it. And you can
I
carry
think when the guys are out there hunting and stuff, or people, women, people, whoever's out there hunting and stuff, a sidearm is not bad because you don't know what you're facing out there.
You do not.
So why not protect yourself? I mean, and I'm talking animal-wise.
Yes.
So, I mean, I don't see anything. I mean, I think the pistol on the side along with your shotgun is
And,
good.
and sometimes I'm like, where you live or where I live, I mean, we're pretty rural. We could have any kind of snake come along anytime. And
Four-legged or two-legged, or
yes,
no-legged.
Or no-legged. I mean, those
Any kind of snake is
Yeah.
what we're saying.
Yeah.
Any kind of snake.
And I'm
On
like,
the ground,
why am I
anything.
not taking the judge out with me? And it has 410. The judge will carry a 410 in it, or. So why am I not bringing this out with me into the woods when I go, in case there's a snake someplace that I really don't want to be near?
Mm-hmm. So
So yeah, boy, what topics we've gone the whole thing.
we've covered it all, but we did kind of go. I mean, we
Around
did. We kind of made it all work together.
These
so
are all still our rights that we have.
their rights
Our Second
and
Amendment,
privileges,
yes, yes.
and we appreciate them.
Yes,
So
we do.
I guess that's gonna wrap us up for today. All right, y'all have a great one. Bye bye.
Bye.